Hi everyone, it's me Jessica and I am here to make a follow-up video. I did my first video after coming down with interstitial cystitis. I talked about my journey struggling with IC from months 1 to 7, and I am here to tell you all about what I have gone through and what's been happening to me in my months after that. So I'm going to talk about my months 7 through 17. I am currently in my 17th month of having interstitial cystitis, and so much has changed for me. So here I go. Previously, when I made my first video, I was struggling with interstitial cystitis, and I had lived in San Diego, California. So I was in a really good place when I made my last video. I utilized alkaline foods and herbs to get myself to a really good point. I was basically symptom-free around between my 7th to 12th month. I got completely symptom-free. I was on a plant-based diet. I did an elimination diet, as you can watch in my previous video, and I used certain supplements like bladderwries and marshmallow root to help me get my urgency down from going about 60 to 80 times a day to a normal bladder, you know, give and take a few flares. So since then, I have actually had a lot change in my life. When I lived in San Diego, I had an abundance of organic foods readily available to me, as well as an amazing naturopath that really helped me get to where I was. And then I was put in a situation because I'm married to somebody in the military where I had to move to Cuba. So I am currently in Cuba. I am on my 17th month of dealing with interstitial cystitis, and things are different here. First off, there's not a lot of organic foods here. As a matter of fact, our produce section of our one store here on the island that I live on is probably as big as an apartment living room, so it's extremely small. We don't get very much fresh things, and I actually had to ask for organic foods to be ordered. So when we do get organics, it's really expensive. For example, right now we have a bag of cherries about this big, and they're $8.02 a pound. So it's not an easy thing to eat organic here, but it is possible. So when I first moved here, I was feeling great. I moved to an island. It's kind of like a permanent vacation here, which is awesome, but I definitely made a lot of different changes that were detrimental to my interstitial cystitis and my healing protocol. The first thing I had done around my 12th month is I went paleo. I went from eating a small amount of cooked organic veggies and a few fruits to eating paleo foods, meaning meat. Our organic meat supply here is basically nothing. So I kind of got into the habit of eating and, you know, preparing for my whole family, red meats, just basically all meats that weren't organic. And I noticed a pretty heavy decline over the next 4 months, symptom-wise. I would say I just noticed my urgency coming back. I noticed myself having to take more pills than normal. Again, I was still taking my bladderwries by Vitanica, and I take 3 pills 3 times a day. And I noticed this wasn't working for me anymore. Like, I had to start doing marshmallow root in between, and I started taking corn silk. I don't have it on the table here, but I love corn silk. And so I started finding myself having to take 3 bladderwries, which has corn silk in it, and then taking 2 corn silk on top of it. And then I was going to work, and I had to go to the bathroom and I just didn't understand what was going on. So basically what happened was I kind of just began to get really freaked out again. I was like, how could this be happening? I already fought so hard, you know, what am I doing wrong? And I guess I didn't really know exactly what I was doing wrong. I was listening to other people whom I've really looked up to, and they were saying that, you know, paleo isn't too bad. And I was looking at autoimmune protocols, and I was like, well, this is an autoimmune protocol, right? But my thinking was getting kind of deranged because I was starting to follow like the idea that autoimmunes have to be dealt with forever by following a certain diet, and not that they can be cured. So about a week ago, I was on my Healing Interstitial Cystitis Naturally page on Facebook. We have about 5.1 1,000 members, and it's just really where I spend most of my time still to this day, working with other girls and listening to other girls and just trying to find a reason, trying to find a cure, and trying to find better days. So I was on there and the girls were talking about, raw diets and veganism, and that's where I came from. Prior to going paleo and when I lived in San Diego, I wasn't eating raw because my body couldn't handle it at the time. But I really wanted to. Again, I was a vegan and I was a vegetarian prior to coming down with interstitial cystitis. So it's kind of always been my, way of thinking and way of eating. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. My wife eats meat. My son eats meat. The base here, I live on a military base, so everybody here is big meat eaters, not very healthy. So I just kind of lost touch with what I wanted and who I was. And so thankfully, I was on the page and the girls were talking about, going raw and eating vegan. And I just was like, telling my wife, there's a girl, her name is Kira, and she was doing a cleanse, a vegetable broth cleanse. So that's kind of what sparked it for me. And I went on the cleanse and I picked up my Dr. Morse book. It's right here. It's called the Detox Miracle Source Book. And his idea is that any disease can be cured through detoxification. So I picked up this book and I started doing this cleanse with her, and I was like, what? It kind of just sparked in my head. I was like, what am I doing? I'm putting dead animals into my body and I'm hoping to feel alive again. And I was just like, okay, dead animals cannot oxygenate my cells. Dead animals are not giving me what I need. I have to remove them. So I did. I have been raw/cooked vegan, minus grains, legumes, and minus grains and legumes for about 6 days now. I'm basically eating vegetables, and I'll tell you all about it, fruit and nuts. And I have been symptom-free. My first 2 days I was having symptoms. I was kind of struggling. My third day I was like, what? I was like, okay, now I feel like myself again. And I started feeling really good because I remember feeling symptom-free back when I was in San Diego. And I remember feeling so strong and so powerful about all the work that I had done. So, so I'm on day 6. I have not taken any medication today. I am about to enjoy some dandelion tea that I try and drink every morning. So that's where I am now. So kind of a weird turn. I had been meaning to make a video for you guys over the past couple months, and I just hadn't. And then this whole raw veganism thing came along, and I was like, I have to tell everyone, because we think that we cannot do raw foods as interstitial cystitis sufferers. Most of us have digestive problems, and a lot of us have infections, and we don't understand why we can't digest raw foods. And I have to tell you that I am one of the biggest cases. Again, when I first was diagnosed with interstitial cystitis, I could not handle any raw. I started on blended oatmeal, and I was still in excruciating pain going to the restroom about 70 times a day. I started with cooked sweet potato, cooked butternut squash, cooked asparagus, and only recently, mind you, I'm in my 17th month, only recently have I been able to handle juicing smoothies. So I'm going to give you a little background about the whole juicing and the raw thing, because people are like, I can't handle raw vegetables. I can't handle raw fruit. And I'm like, I get it. I understand. Time is of the essence. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes not giving up. So probably around month 10, I started eating pineapple and grapes. I know a lot of people are like, well, that's not interstitial cystitis friendly. Well, interstitial cystitis is different for everybody. So it was friendly for me. And thankfully, pineapple is super alkaline. Grapes are super alkaline. And grapes are actually a big detoxification tool. So I was super lucky to be able to eat them right off the bat. So those were kind of like the first things that I ate raw. I was always scared of raw vegetables. They kind of were hard for me to digest. My stomach would make all kinds of weird noises when I would eat them. And now that I look back, I think it's because I was probably having food combining issues. There's certain foods that you can combine with other foods. I'm not going to go into all that because it's just a whole nother step, but you can Google food combining. But I think my stomach was grumbling because of that, and not because I was attempting raw grains. So The smoothie that I started out with about a week ago was avocado, coconut water, mind you, organic coconut water, no additives. It's got to be organic, you guys. I know that we can't always get all organic fruits and vegetables. I can't. I live on an island, so I totally understand the struggle. But we have to do our best because it's genuinely, it makes so much of a difference. So avocado, organic coconut water, spinach, a banana or a half a banana, and pineapple. That is my go-to smoothie as of now. I am absolutely loving it, and I feel so much better. So just an idea, everybody's probably like, well, what do you eat for lunch? What do you eat for protein, blah, blah, blah. I have been enjoying raw organic cashews for my protein. For lunch, I'm having a salad. Some of the things I have to cook in my salad, and that's okay with me. I'm cooking my, and whatever vegetables I put in. I basically do lettuce, avocado, and some cooked vegetables, give or take. Bell peppers, I can eat them cooked or raw. Stuff like that. So, and then for dinner, I'm doing like a spaghetti squash, and then I'm just throwing tons of vegetables on top of it. I've been following a bunch of vegan pages on Facebook and just kind of like gathering recipes, and I'll really start sharing about them in the future. But I cannot stress to you guys enough how important and how different I have felt since I've taken on this vegan diet. Again, I basically am just eating fruits, vegetables, and nuts. I'm following people like Mark Gordon, Sunny Morrow. She's a huge, she's just big for me. She has had interstitial cystitis, and she cured it off juicing. And I do feel like it was easier for her than me. I have SIBO, and I'm going to tell you all about that in a second. You know, some people can just jump into their raw diet right away, and they're like, oh, you know, look I'm feeling so much better. For me, it took me 15 months to get to a place where I can handle a bunch of raw foods, but it's worth it, you know? So we're all going to be in different stages, and we're all going to go through different things. Again, Robert Morse is huge. If you have any question about any disease, Google your disease, and Robert Morse, and watch his videos. I would buy his book, the Detox Miracle Source book. I'm really into detoxing right now. It's the idea of healing your body through removing toxins. It's not like getting yourself symptom-free or eating an autoimmune paleo diet so that you can live with, you know, your disease, but it's about getting rid of the disease, literally flushing the disease out of your body. So that's just kind of what I'm going through now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about a few things that I think are extra important supplement-wise when it comes to healing interstitial cystitis. And then I'm going to talk about my SIBO protocol. I, again, lived off of bladder ease and marshmallow root for the last 17 months. I just stopped taking it. And it's not that I stopped taking it. I'm just kind of not taking it because I'm not having any symptoms at all whatsoever. Even down to just feeling the presence of my bladder, which I did suffer from like months 12 to 13 before I kind of got out of control with the meat. I always felt like there was a presence of my bladder there. I don't feel that at all. So I'm super relieved. After struggling for 17 months, fighting, screaming, crying, just not even being able to fully comprehend how I was going to live the rest of my life like this. I feel amazing. Like, to come out and just 5 days on raw and cooked veggies, to come out and be able to sit here and not feel my bladder, like, I feel 100. So those are two things that really help me. The other thing is corn silk. A lot of people are scared about corn silk and marshmallow root because they're diuretics. They help me not have to pee so much. I think that there's a time and a place to introduce everything, and it's something that you're going to have to figure out for your own body. Two things that I highly recommend for people who have interstitial cystitis: vitamin D3. I continue to take it. I take 10,000 IUs still. A lot of people who have interstitial cystitis have low vitamin D3 levels. I think that it's imperative for healing. And the other thing, of course, is omega-3s, fish oil. Omega-3s are super important, and these are two things that I'm going to continue taking, amongst other things that I plan on getting when I leave Island. I'm going home to California in 10 days, so I'm super excited, and I'm going to hit Whole Foods like they've never seen somebody hit Whole Foods before. So another thing that I'm still doing every single day is dandelion root tea. Dandelion root is an alkaline tea. It can help with so many things. You can Google the effects of dandelion tea for people, just normal people and people who are trying to overcome diseases. So I love dandelion root tea. I drink it every day. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about my SIBO journey. Around month 6, I did a stool test with my naturopath, who I lost. I don't have a naturopath here anymore. I'm kind of like my own naturopath. I'm just following Montreal Healthy Girl, Sunny Morrow, Dr. Morse, and anybody who is willing to talk to me at this point. So it's kind of a struggle, but I'm really getting used to leaning on myself for full healing and not anybody else. I was diagnosed with SIBO through a stool test around month 5 of my interstitial cystitis journey, and I still try and hope that my interstitial cystitis symptoms are just bothersome because I have small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, which is, I guess, pretty common with people who have interstitial cystitis. I do believe that everybody who has interstitial cystitis has some kind of underlying cause, whether it's muscular, whether it's a bacteria, whatever. So I urge everybody to stop looking for a medicine way out and start looking for a cure. Don't look in your bladder. Look everywhere. And I think you'll find it. So the protocol that my naturopath has put me on, and I have not started it yet, but I will on January 10th. Don't ask questions. So I am going to attempt to eradicate my SIBO for the 3rd time using oregano oil. It is a natural antibiotic. This is the brand that we are using. Berberine complex. It is also an antibiotic by Integrative Therapies. We're going to use a probiotic called Pure Encapsulations. And I also have some homemade fermented sauerkraut and homemade cauliflower and beets fermenting on top of my fridge. So I'm definitely going to use that to get my gut bacteria going along with the probiotics. I'm going to use Iberogast. It is something that people will use this instead of like LDN. It's important for gut health, gut motility. And then the last thing I'm going to use is Biogest. So all of these things together, followed by a gut protocol, which I have not decided yet, I'm hoping will get rid of my SIBO. In the past, I attempted a Candibactin / probiotic protocol with the low FODMAP diet. It didn't work. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of half-assed it. So I've also attempted rifaximin. I went with Western medicine because I just wanted to get rid of the SIBO and I was sick of it, and it definitely didn't work. So here I am again attempting a natural protocol. It's a little heftier this time. I'm going to follow a low FODMAP / plant-based diet. Maybe. I'm going to attempt to. I'm really into my whole raw plant-based diet right now. It's working incredibly for me, so I'm going to stick with that as long as my symptoms continue to stay low. Mind you, I haven't had any tummy gurgling, any upset stomach, any weird stools since I started raw vegan. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. So that's what's going on in my life. I am super hopeful. I'm going to continue with the raw vegan. I have a list of stuff that I'm going to buy when I go home because we don't have access to anything. As a matter of fact, I got all of my pills, all of my supplements for my SIBO protocol on Amazon. So Amazon's kind of like my whole life right now, and it's all I have. So certain things that I'm going to do in the next 3-4 months, and I'm going to update this video, is I'm going to attempt a psyllium pudding detox protocol. You can learn about psyllium pudding by putting by following Mark Gordon. It's basically you're cleaning your body out. I'm hoping to remove mucoid plaque. If you don't know what mucoid plaque is, you can research it. I'm going to get on some of Dr. Morse's herbs, GI Broom, Heal All Tea, stuff like that. And I'm going to just continue on with fermenting and eating the way that I am. So I'm sorry that I've been gone so long, and I really, really hope that this video is helpful to people and helpful in understanding that this is a really long process. Again, I'm on my 17th month, and I've gone through so much, you know. If you can't tolerate something now, you might be able to tolerate in the future. Don't give up hope. This is a journey. And when I used to freak out, like, well, why can they tolerate raw and I can't? Well, why are they almost better and it's only been 3 months? Again, I'm on my 17th month. So don't get discouraged. Keep pushing. Don't believe the hype. This can be cured and you can do it. Is it easy? No. You are going to have to dedicate every single aspect of your life to healing. I do. My wife is sick and tired of me talking about interstitial cystitis, but she knows that I need to. So you got to just keep pushing on. You got to be stronger for yourself than you ever have. And I promise you that you will get out. One more thing, and I forgot to talk to you guys about this. Apple cider vinegar. I drink this every single day. It is super good at getting rid of candida, and it's just something healthy to do. So get some apple cider vinegar, guys. Other than that, that is all. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.